Hello everyone, welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
Hello, I'm Kiki.
And we are back, Kiki and I, for The Little Princess and the Poet, Part 3. The final part. This is it, people. This is the end of our story, and we have a lot to learn. So far, we have a poet who's ugly, not a handsome poet, but a very good poet.
Right.
His poems are so good. He got into the palace, into like the castle where the king and queen lived with their daughter, the princess who was blind. And there in the castle, in the palace, I should say, he had a very interesting experience.
His poem was about the poor, about the realities of life outside the palace.
Yes.
And it was so good that he scared 45 poet princes, or prince poets.
Handsome prince poets, probably.
Scared them off.
That's right. They were there to win the heart of the little princess, but the ugly poet, the sort of normal guy, his poem was so beautiful that he kind of won the day. But he was told to leave the palace. He was told that it was not good for him to be friends with the princess. So since he is just a normal man, not a prince or a VIP in any way, he left the palace, but he had a new poem about his love for the little blind princess.
Yes, during this time, he fell in love with the princess, maybe because she was nice to him.
Right?
She invited him in.
That's right. She's blind, so she can't look at his face and, get a feeling. She listens to his beautiful words, and she started to probably love him too. But he's away from the palace, far away.
Far away.
From the palace, telling his wonderful new poem to people, probably breaking their hearts, but getting no closer to finding true love with the little princess. Maybe he never will. They are such different people. Let's find out what's going to happen. It's the final day, and we're really hoping for a happy ending. I hope there's a happy ending. Let's check it out.
The people told the poet a cure for the princess's blindness. All he needed to do was kiss her eyelids. She must be asleep, though.
Okay, let's get into part 3. So what will happen to the ugly poet and the blind princess? Well, we joined the poet at the beginning of our story for today, and maybe some good news. The people told the poet a cure for the princess's blindness. So he was traveling. I guess he met some, doctors or medicine men or something, and he heard of a cure, not for his ugly face, but for the princess's blindness. Remember, we described her as blind. That adjective means the eyes don't work, you can't see, and blindness would be the noun form. He suffers from blindness or something. He or she is blind. And a cure would be a great thing for blindness or any other sickness, illness, or disease, because a cure, and we can also use it as a verb, but as a noun, it's what you need or what you have done to get better, to recover, to have your health come back to 100%. So a cure for a cold, stay home for a few days, stay in bed, drink lots of water or juice, maybe take some medicine. And time. Time is a cure for a cold, but of course for other things, we'll go to a doctor, we'll take medicine, maybe have an operation, and then if you get better, you are cured. So you cure the illness by looking for a cure, medicine, and other things.
So time can also cure a broken heart.
It does, it's true.
Yeah, and we know that the poet has traveled far away from the palace of the blind princess, and he's been sharing his love in a poem. So maybe the new villagers, the new people he met, is really touched. They're really touched by his poem. So maybe they wanted to share with him this cure for blindness.
Oh, okay.
So let's find out what this cure is.
Yeah.
All he needed to do was kiss her eyelids. Huh.
That's all?
A kiss on her eyelids. She must be asleep, though.
Oh, okay. I guess it's easier to kiss someone on the eyelids when they're asleep. Otherwise, you have to catch them when they're blinking.
Right.
And that's too fast.
Or it's kind of weird if I say, Mike,
yes.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, if you lean forward, I might think you're going to bite my face. But if I'm asleep, I don't know what's going on. So this is the cure, a kiss on her eyelids when she's asleep. I don't think they do this at the hospital.
No, they don't.
This is a fairy tale cure.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yes.
Because in fairy tales, kisses, they fix everything.
Truth.
So what is a kiss? A kiss, in this case, is a verb. And it is to touch something with your lips.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's to touch something gently.
Okay.
Gently,
Yes,
gently.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can kiss someone on the cheek as a loving greeting, or it could be a gentle brush or a touch.
Sure.
Okay, so that could be also described as a kiss.
Yes.
All right. So a kiss doesn't necessarily have to be romantic.
No.
Sometimes it could be shared amongst family members to show how much you've missed them.
Close friends.
How much you care about them.
Absolutely.
And how happy you are to see them.
Right.
So for example, the ladies haven't seen each other in decades.
Wow.
They haven't seen each other in over 10 years or 20 years. And when they finally reunited, they hugged and kissed each other on the cheek.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so there we have it. And we should, of course, tell you, don't kiss anyone you're not good friends or family members.
Right.
It is a personal thing to do, especially if you're kissing them on the eyelid.
Right. And also, nowadays, we should also make sure with the other person and say, is it okay if I give you a kiss on the cheek?
Definitely. And don't do it if you have COVID or you're wearing a mask or anything like that. All right, so we also talked there about kissing on the eyelid. Yes, the eyelid is that thin covering of skin that covers your eye. It's like a lid on a jar. This is a lid on your eye. It covers and protects your eyes. Your eyelids close when you blink, of course. When you have something in your eye, your eyelid can protect it. And when you're asleep, your eyelids will close to keep out the light because it's easier to sleep that way.
Right. So when you are asleep, it's an adjective. So you are describing someone that is sleeping or they are not awake, just like Mike right now.
Sorry, what? Yeah.
Mike was asleep, okay?
No.
So, are you sure?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
I know why you're falling asleep.
Why is that?
Because you want to find out what's going to happen to the poet in the next part because it's going to get exciting. So let's take a break and find out what happens at the end. We'll see you later.
In no time, the poet returned to the palace. He told the king and queen his plan. They agreed to it as long as he left after he kissed her. So, the poet did just that. When the princess woke up, she saw everything around her. However, nothing was beautiful. Then she went outside and ran into the poet. She finally found real beauty.
Mike, you gotta wake up now because we're back, okay?
I was hoping a prince would kiss me on the eyelids.
Well, we will have something, we will have a poet.
Okay, well, I'm not blind, so it might have been bad anyways.
Well, we've been waiting to find out what happens to the poet.
Right,
so,
the cure.
Right, it's getting exciting.
The kiss cure.
Okay?
Yes.
So, let's find out what the poet does with this newfound knowledge.
Go!
Okay? In no time, the poet returned to the palace.
Ready to kiss.
Ready to kiss. So, in no time meant that very quickly, very soon as he got this information about the cure to fix the princess's blindness, he went straight back. We know that he was far away.
That's
right?
true. Yes.
He was far, far away.
He ran for days and days.
And then he, rushed back to get to the princess, to get to the kingdom because he wants to share this cure, okay? So another example for this vocabulary word, which is in no time, the kids wanted to play their Switch, but their mom said, only after dinner, Mike.
Oh.
But the kids turned around and ate their dinner in no time.
Like that. Okay.
Yes, that way they could get to their game.
Very, very quickly. So he returned to the palace in no time. Return just means to come back to a place that you were in before. So here's the simplest way. In the morning, if you work or go to school, you will leave your home, maybe at, 8 in the morning. And then in the evening at 5, 6, 7, after your school or work is done, you will come back home. You will return home. Or if you go on a holiday, you might be away for a week, a few weeks, a few months, who knows? But unless you are moving to a new country, you will come back to your home country, come back home, or return. So he comes back to the palace. He returns to the palace, lips ready to go, looking for the princess and her eyelids so he can make the cure happen. And what happened at the palace? Well, that's the poet, he told the king and queen his plan, and they immediately sent him away. No, they didn't. He told the king and queen his plan to kiss their daughter on the eyelids when she was asleep, and like good parents, they said, okay. Strange. They agreed to it as long as he left after he kissed her. That's not really nice, cure our daughter, let her see, but then you gotta go. So I guess they really didn't want him there with his romantic poems, to steal her heart, but if he can cure her blindness, that's okay. So the poet did just that. He agreed to do this. He agreed to help her and cure the blindness, and because maybe he loved her so much, he did what the parents asked him, even though it would break his heart.
And that's really interesting because the king and queen, they didn't even wonder or suspect. No. They just said, oh, you want to kiss my daughter to fix her eyes? Sure. Yeah. But then you have to go.
Right. Well, they're tough, those parents. Okay. They're very tough. They will let him in and kiss their sleeping daughter, this strange man.
Right.
But then he has to go.
Kiss and go.
That's right. He can't stay for a snack.
Okay, so does this cure actually work?
I think so.
When the princess woke up, she saw everything around her.
She's cured.
However, nothing was beautiful.
She needs glasses?
No. Nothing was beautiful.
Oh, nothing was beautiful. So she can see the world, but she can't see any beauty in the world. Wow. Then it says she went outside and ran into the poet. So he was leaving the castle by the palace, by the back door. And as she goes outside to maybe visit the garden, she runs into him or bumps into him or meets him unexpectedly. And then, she sees him and how handsome he is, and the flowers bloom and the butterflies fly, and many wonderful things happen. She finally found real beauty right there in the kind of ugly face of the poet, but with the beautiful heart.
Right.
I like it. Beauty is just the state of being beautiful. If something is beautiful, if it's attractive, if it's lovely, then clearly there is a lot of beauty there. It could be in something you can see, like a garden or a sunrise or the face of a loved one, or it can be in the sound of music or the smell of flowers or whoever, whatever, what it is that makes your heart sing and makes your mind happy and makes you feel wonderful. That is probably some kind of beauty. And I think there's been a beauty to this story.
Yes, and there is a saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's right.
So even though he was an ugly poet to this little princess, he was beautiful to her.
Exactly. Whatever you think is beautiful to you, and that is okay.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you get to enjoy and experience and appreciate all the beauty in the world. And we'll see you back here sometime soon. Until then, take care. You're all beautiful, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
The people told the poet a cure for the princess's blindness. All he needed to do was kiss her eyelids. She must be asleep, though. In no time, the poet returned to the palace. He told the king and queen his plan. They agreed to it as long as he left after he kissed her. So, the poet did just that. When the princess woke up, she saw everything around her. However, nothing was beautiful. Then she went outside and ran into the poet. She finally found real beauty.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 kiss 动词亲吻。Vicky kissed Kevin on the cheek. Vicky 亲吻了 Kevin 的脸颊。cheek 指的是脸颊。下一个单字 asleep 形容词睡着的。I was already asleep when the phone rang. 当电话响起时，我已经睡着了。下一个单字 return 动词返回。After a long day at the beach, they decided to return to their hotel to rest. 在沙滩度过了漫长的一天后，他们决定返回饭店休息。最后一个单字 beauty 名词美好的人事物。The beauty of the mountains took my breath away. 这座山脉的美景让我惊艳不已。Take one's breath away 指的是使某人感到惊艳。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 a cure for something 某疾病的疗法。Cure 指的是治疗方法，这里要注意介系词的用法，要使用 for。我们来看看这个例句。Scientists are searching for a cure for AIDS. 科学家们正在寻找治愈艾滋病的方法。AIDS 指的是艾滋病。下一个文法 in no time 很快的马上，这是一个副词片语，可以用 at once right away 表达相近的语义。我们来看看这个例句。Emma finished her homework in no time. Emma 一下子就写完作业了。最后一个文法as long as 只要，也可以说 so long as 用来连接两个完整的子句，可以放在句首或者是句中。我们来看看这个例句。You can have a cookie as long as you finish your vegetables. 只要你吃完蔬菜，你就可以吃饼干。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，回去记得复习哦。我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
I'm Winnie.
Now, we know that a lot of words in English, they have to be pronounced properly or else it could mean something totally different. So, today we are going to work on our pronunciation.
Let's go. Okay, let's play our pronunciation game today. So please help me read the sentence.
The sun rises in the east.
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 The sun rises in the east. Very good.
Mute your cell phone in the class.
Mute your cell phone in 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 class.
Very good. Okay.
Our last one.
I was born in June.
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 Very good. I was born in June. What did we learn today?
Let's work on our pronunciations. So our first sentence is, the sun rises in the east. Here we're gonna take a look at the word sun, okay? We have a U in there, and we're going to relax our jaw and say sun. Okay, so you have a sound. Okay, so we have sun, just like the word bun, okay? Like a steamed bun. The sun rises in the east. Next up, we have mute your cell phone in class. Focusing on the word mute, okay? You're gonna notice that your lips purse forward, okay? So mute, kind of like an EW sound. Mute, okay? Just like the word cute. Mute your cell phone in class. Last, we have I was born in June. Okay, so June, J-U-N-E. When we see a U-N-E, it makes the same sound similar to moon, M-O-O-N. Okay, so we have that oo, we have a little O forming around our lips. Okay, so I was born in June. So another word with U-N-E is prune. I was born in June. That's all we have for today. Kiwi later.